Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Johnny here, and today we're playing Garen into a Yone, which is a very annoying matchup, right? So I'm gonna show you guys the best way that I've found to navigate some of these annoying matchups as Garen. And let's get into it. We're playing with the runes you see on screen. And yes, we're playing Phase Rush because at the end of the day, in my opinion, it's a rune that allows you to scale super well into the mid-late game. And I value that more than the, let's say, lane presence you may have with something like Conqueror. Oop. Okay, first game of the day, guys. A little bit clunky on the last hits here, no problem. So the main thing we're playing for here is the level 2. So here, I'm going to trade him while also getting the wave. We get the level up there. Perfect. Okay. Some poor last hitting on my part, but that's okay. Now, one thing you can consider as Garen is actually going for a proxy really early. But you have to be sure the jungler is not pathing in your direction. In this case, we actually know that Lilia is pathing toward topside. And we also see that my jungler is pathing down away from me. But this is something you always have to take into account, and you have to plan the wave according to that. So what are we doing here? We're waiting for the wave to push back into me, because ultimately that's gonna mean I don't have to be in a vulnerable position, right? If the wave is getting closer to my tower. So that's pretty much the thinking. And another part of that, I'm gonna miss that one. Another part of that is understanding that HP trades don't really benefit me. I'm gonna try to secure my cannon here and then play it safe. Oh, good. Auto, W, and E. I might be able to one-shot the Lilia if she stays around. Okay, she doesn't. Oh, good. Okay. I'm gonna grab a second point in E. Ooh. Missed that last hit, but outside of that, we're in good shape here. So 2 points in E helps me with the early wave clear here. And it kind of makes it so we're able to start proxying pretty soon. I will take a second point in Q just for the extra move speed. Okay, perfect. Excellent trade here. Now I can repeat the same process, which is letting him push into me. Can try to trade him here. Auto Q, W. That also activates our phase rush. Great position to be in. We have reason to believe that Lilia is probably around bot now, right? And because the Yone is also very low HP, that makes it so we can proxy much more easily. That's a bit of a bad spin. Moving away from the minions. Okay, here we go. I got my ult too. Okay. I mean, it doesn't get more simple than that, right? We just chunk him and he's put in a bad position. Realistically, he could have gotten out of that by just TPing back. But he was greedy and he tried to keep it. So here, I'm gonna try to look for a proxy because the wave's going under tower. I can put a ward here. Okay. I'll just W this. He can do as much damage as he wants. Okay, so we can see he's coming for me here. So he's losing an entire wave right now for this, which I'm okay with. Lilia is also trying to chase me down though. Okay, Yone is losing a ton of XP here, so honestly, even if they kill me now, it would actually be fine for me. Yeah, cool. And now he has to walk all the way to lane, by the way. At least I hope I'm able to get this in. I'm gonna use my potion just in case. And Lilia is still around topside, so I'm just gonna take a recall right now. Ping my jungler back because we can't fight that realistically. Awesome, let's go back. I also value swifties quite a lot because in this draft, Lilia is a big threat to me. So the ability to space out the Lilia and go for proxies is what I value most. So I'm gonna prioritize that too. And then we can see Yone also got his berserkers. Good to know. Missed those. So currently we have a CS lead, which is nice, and we got a kill on Yone. So what I'm gonna do here is try to slow push this into hard pushing the next wave that's coming up. We can see the next wave is by my tier 2, right? So I'm sort of allowing it to walk up because I know enemy minion wave is also around the same position. Okay. And this is very hard for him to contest. Yeah, he can try to do all this fancy Yone stuff, right? Okay. I'm very surprised, by the way, I'm very surprised that Lilia is here because I saw them trying to contest the dragon. So I assumed she would be there too. Okay. Aha. Just flash away in this case. It was a bit stronger than what I expected. It really surprised me that Lilia was there, so that was a mistake on my part. It sucks because Yone gets a plate out of that, but that's a really good, like, learning mistake. I highly recommend you guys, if you're on the journey to learn the game like I am, make some ballsy plays sometimes if you think, you know, if you think it makes sense, right? I thought there was a very good chance Lilia was around the Drake objective. Gonna get this and this. And I went for it, knowing that I have phase rush, I have flash, so even if it turns out I was wrong, as you can see, usually I can get away. But these are the best way to learn, in my opinion, is when you take some chances as well. So don't limit test on everything, right? To a detriment, but very nice to make a decision like that and then review it in hindsight. You know, did I make a mistake or was it a correct decision? And you can usually find that out when you look at the replay too. So here, what I'm actually thinking is I'm waiting for Yone to come back to lane. Look at that. Okay. Auto. Okay, the shield saves him there, but this is also fine for me in the sense that he's very low now. So realistically, he has a very hard time staying in lane right now with that level of HP. And indeed, I can come here, look to proc my rune. Oh. Perfect. I don't know where Lilia is. So, yeah, there she is. So we made the right decision in this case of just going back and not looking for a proxy there. If I knew, so this is a good example. If I knew right now that Lilia was bot side, I would have gone for a proxy here to gain tempo over the Yone. if you can get away with a proxy, it will always benefit you in the sense that you have tempo over your opponent. They need to now push an additional entire wave to get to your tower. Okay, perfect. I would argue we're still in a great spot. We got 92 CS. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna be able to get to that position to help. The best we can do is get this wave under tower and force the Yone to come back. I want to put the Yone to the test here and see. So you can see Yone does not follow me, right? What does that mean? That means that Lilia is likely not around topside right now. Okay. She gets me with that. That's also very nice. Because we're stealing her camps here, right? So she's also in an awkward position because she has to decide, does she give away the camps, which is very bad for her, or does she try to contest and likely die, which is of course even worse. So as you can see, we also didn't lose anything because of the proxy. The wave is still in this position. And Yone is still kind of in the back foot here, right? He hasn't bought items in a little bit. Okay, and now I can see they're looking for me here. So I'm gonna auto. And with Tiamat, I'm gonna get my phase rush. Pretty cool. I'll put a ward here. See what's going on. Perfect. So the other thing too, when you see this happening, so the Poppy rotated to my lane, right? What does that mean? That means that bot lane currently doesn't, and well, the support is just being dedicated to camp me here. My only job is to not die to the support roam. And as long as I do that, we're actually wasting a lot of the support time, right? Which is a big advantage to my team elsewhere. Now I see where Lilia is, by the way. They're full committed here in this team fight. So guess what? I'm gonna look for a proxy. I'm gonna look for the last plate if I can't. Well, the plate is about to run out, so that's not gonna be possible. But I can look to exert a lot of pressure here. Yone has to choose. Does he tank the full wave or does he let it go under tower? In this case, he lets it go under tower. So I W that on purpose. All good. We don't need to fully commit to that, especially because Lilia could be pathing top, right? And if you see, I already have plenty of money to go spend. And I would argue we've played this really well in a matchup that's very unfavorable? No. Well, how do you say that? Okay, let's either way, let's go for this. And we'll go for a pink ward too. Unfavorable matchup for us. We've circumvented that by playing around our proxies, and we tried to do it in a safe way. We haven't died, which is fantastic. So the main problem when you proxy is, of course, you're vulnerable. So you need to have some idea of where the jungler is, or you need to have a very good way out, like an escape plan, right? And for us, we have phase rush, so there's that. But we also tried to play with the information of where jungler was. Okay. Do I just kill him here? Okay. Well, I got his flash too, which is very good for me. I see Lilia mid right now. So I want to get this wave in and see if I can collapse on enemy team here. What an outplay, guys. What an outplay. I pressed R on that guy. Incredible. Very hard to replicate on your side, to be fair. But, you know. Cool. Oh. Alright. Damn. That guy is resourceful. I'll give him that. Let's go back and get some more components. And then my main idea would be to deploy bot. So I'm asking ADC to be mid. It's a much safer position for my ADC. And I can look to play for towers much better than they can. And in this case, they're listening to me, so kudos to them. My ADC is also doing really well this game. So again, just kudos to them. Awesome to see. Sometimes they won't listen to you, but it really doesn't matter. You can still go anyway. And eventually they will look to move, right? Because you're getting all the minions. They can't compete with your wave clear. So there's that as well. Teams taking a 4v5. That's up to them if they take the choice to take a numbers disadvantage fight. In this case, my team is going pretty even in that respect. Actually winning it. So we can look to use that. Given that the enemy team is committed there. Remember that you always have phase rush, so you always need to have in your mind what is your escape plan if people collapse on you, right? So you always need to have like maybe your Q available or your stride breaker, so you have a way to quickly proc your phase rush. When you're kind of exposed, taking a tower, that's always something you have to consider. Beautiful. Got that too. I might look for this Silas here. Or the Lilia. He might die to the Ignite. Yep. Beautiful. Let's put a deep ward down. I want to basically just clear the wave here. So not looking to fight the Yone necessarily because I have a lot of gold. I just wanted to clear the wave to keep him in this position. Honestly, this is also... Okay. See you later, buddy. You're coming back to your... whatever that's called. Your remnant. So, see you later. Meanwhile, your team is dying. You're losing your tier 2 as well, so I'm good with that. I want to also explain my item decision there, by the way. Let's take another one of these. Okay, so why did I go Deadman's Plate second? This is maybe not obvious, but they have some heavy AD damage dealers, right? Like we're looking at a Blade of the Ruined King. Even though this guy is behind, it's gonna hurt a lot. Ashe is also very hard to deal with, being Garen. So the mix of move speed and armor is really valuable against those things. But the main condition for me to go for an item like this second is me being ahead of the curve. So because we're ahead of the curve in terms of everybody else, we got one item, one item, one item. Only this guy's got 2 items. I feel like I can afford to build something defensive in this case. And so... if I was even or behind, I would build full damage, pretty much. I mean, I pressed R, guys. I don't know, like... that guy lit... phase rush away. Yeah, we just pressed R on that guy. Beautiful. I'm gonna ask my team to go back here. My ult is down, so my ability to team fight is very low right now. We just look to steal some camps. The dragon is up too. But my team is in a position of power as well, so I don't feel like they need me. Instead, I'm just gonna play for this tier 2. Yeah. I do like going Phantom Dancer because of the move speed into Lilia, Ashe. I think it's gonna be really, really valuable. I don't necessarily need more crit items. In case you guys don't know, Garen got pretty heavily nerfed in terms of his crit damage. I think it's only on the spin, so but that's a pretty heavy hit for Garen, so like full crit Garen is maybe not as desirable anymore, and instead I'm building more of a bruiser, tanky, with a little bit of crit, you know, a little bit of damage still, but nothing crazy. My ult is coming back up, so I'm looking for opportunistic kills here. But if they don't respond, I'll just keep taking their top side. Very happy to do that too. Got the cannon. You guys love calling me out when I miss a cannon. Which, I mean, fair enough. Got it. 3 of my team died, so I think we just go back here. They might be looking for dragon themselves, so I'll see if I can defend that by myself. Okay. Okay, I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for them all to be there, but to be fair, I should have been. I should have been ready for that. Okay, mistakes are made. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the Negatron Cloak, my upgraded boots. We're going to sit on the Negatron Cloak. Eventually, we'll upgrade it, but for now, I just want some solid resistance to Lilia's damage and also the Silas, right? And then we can look for our final item. We have some great options. Infinity Edge is still a great damage option. We could try to go something more bruisery. So things like even Trinity Force are pretty solid. But Shojin, fantastic item. This is probably what I'm gonna go for, right? It amplifies our ult damage, gives us some awesome tankiness, and just amplifies our damage in a really, really nice way. Okay. Take a look here. This looks like a really bad engagement. Yeah. Okay. The full enemy team is engaged there, killing my team. There's no way I can get to that in time, right? So I'm gonna try to take the inhib. Yeah, they killed my full team. That's outside of my control. I can't control what my team does. Okay. I might die here. Yeah, I greeted for that. I admit my mistake there. I was thinking, maybe I can chip away at this. But nah, there was not enough time. My bad. Still, we got the inhib though, so that makes it a lot easier for us to play for this. I'm just gonna say play for Baron. So what we can do is this lane and this lane are going to auto shove in, right? Because the inhibs are down. So what I can do is push bot, and that will give us insane pressure into their base. So they're gonna have to be like confined to their base, and in that time, my team and myself, we can look to get Baron. So that's my goal right now. We're going to try to play for that. With that said, we're getting engaged upon, so I might need to... You know, I'm gonna stick to my idea. I'm gonna ask my team to not, like, fully commit. I mean, look at that. My team is literally 3v5 and they're choosing to fight. That's I think, a bad decision. But, again, outside of our control, right? So we can ask them with pings to do what we think is correct. And then we play according to our decision. So I really think trying to take the inhib here is the more valuable play. It also opens up Baron for us. So I'm gonna look for it immediately. Okay. And stunned forever. Honestly, not bad. I killed one. I got the inhib too. I'm not too like bummed down about dying there. All inhibs down is gonna give us like a very easy time getting the Drake, the Baron, stuff like that. Of course, ideally we don't die, but they have some pretty insane CC and slows and everything, so it is also pretty hard to play into the comp. Okay. I'm gonna ask my team to go for Baron, because you're going to notice now that they can't really leave base that easily. So this is a great time for us to be here. Because both bot and mid are getting shoved in by the super minions. Beautiful, let's get that. And let's look for the Drake too. Awesome. Ooh. Okay, got it. Woo! Got you, buddy. Okay, I think we just end here. Admittedly, we made some mistakes pushing our... split pushing a bit too far, right? And getting caught out. But I think those are healthy mistakes to make to learn your limits. If you play like ultra safe, like I did for a very long time, you're not gonna learn that much, right? So also take that. Don't be too mad at yourself if you make mistakes. Try to learn from them. Try to have some fun in the process. And with that, we'll see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.